influence in my color, and that has been
I think
always
that's
like a
pretty
dialogue.
And I'm a romantic, but we're still friends.
For now.
The Mindspace umbrella is very...
It's very modern. In a few years, you might feel crossed over.
But no, I mean, but the gist is, I mean, there are artists that are making, I mean, we're interested in abstraction. There are artists making abstraction, and it's not just sort of like navel gazing, like looking at like what has been done and just repeating it over and over and over and over again. Because that's not the case. It's like there are incredibly like smart, creative individuals that are making work that are advancing the 100-year history of this kind of art making. You know, abstraction is about 100 years old, and people think it's like really kind of static, but it's not at all. It's like it's moving, and it's moving in all these directions, and you know, because of the nature of our project, it's global. So you know, you have influences, interests, and ideas and histories that are all over the planet that you have to kind of check your own baggage at the door to get. You know, you have to like, wow, it's interesting that this guy's making clear records in New Zealand. Like he's making recordings of stuff that he prints into vinyl, you know, as a form of abstraction. It's interesting. You know, there are other kinds of things of like people photographing the sky with no clouds in it and having other people print them for them and dealing with issues of color and interpretations of beauty. And so there's like a huge, broad, I mean, it's the world, but it's a huge, huge spectrum of sort of strategies, materials, interpretations, perspectives, age demographics. We got artists that are part of our project that are almost 80 years old, some that are in their 20s. You know, men and women, all kinds of backgrounds, every continent essentially at this point, except for Africa. We don't have any ends in.
Yeah.
But it's like this.
We have
it's
two
like,
people right here.
well, you guys are our ends.
Oh,
Good.
oh, that's so good.
So it's a really, I mean, it's a global community of practice. It's just not, you know, everything traditionally has been defined by like where you are. Like I'm in Brooklyn, I'm a Brooklyn painter, I'm a New York painter. But it's not the case. It's the web. It's the internet. We're like global, you know, globalism. So it's like you can do anything anywhere about anything, and that's what you were talking about. You know.
So Melanie, on that note, do you have any specific reading? I've been giving some readings on abstractions or any place or people maybe. Like we've been reading Kirk Vonnegut's Pictures of Nothing and anything on abstraction or more minimal art that comes to mind.
That's a good question.
I'm going to start a reading group for abstraction, by the way.
that's
So
nice.
I'm starting
Really
to put
good
together a reading list, but
We probably have to look through our website. We probably have a list
Yeah.
if anything
somewhere.
comes to
Well, we
mind.
have on our
I'll
site
just email it
actually.
to you.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so specific as to what I'm reading and where I'm looking to go, but we try to make the site like as holistic as possible. So if you go to the links, so this is links to like any kind of content anywhere about anything. There is a section called publications, and these are all publications that are like we don't have like individual artist monographs. Like I can't have like every Mark Dagley book on there; it just would be too many, or every Frank Stella book. But these are all anthologies of books that describe this kind of art making in bigger ways. So there's a lot of like bigger books about like, you know, the minimalist movement. There are bigger books about, you know, this kind of abstraction in South America, you know, surrounding like the cities of Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Montevideo, these places where they're abstraction, even Caracas, Venezuela, there's like huge action. There's stuff that are much more sort of image-based. Like there are things that are based on big collections, like the Ponza collection. There's an Italian collector that just buys this stuff in bulk. It just
Oh my
depends.
God, this
I
is
think
great.
historically that Gregory Babcock minimal art anthology is
Yeah, that's listed on here.
that's a good place to start.